Is Fairy Tail a ripoff of One Piece or just inspired? So lately and for a while now, a lot of people have compared Fairy Tail to One Piece. I've heard it in so many different places, even aside from YouTube. I've even heard in commentaries on the episodes of the Fairy Tail DVDs and Blu-rays. The voice actors even saying that it's very similar to One Piece, or there was even a joke in one of those commentaries saying, "Oh, so it's like a One Piece ripoff." And to be honest with you, I definitely don't think that it is a ripoff. When I look at Fairy Tail, what I see is that it was inspired by One Piece's design as far as certain elements. Like, for example, for pretty much every character in Fairy Tail, you can say that there's the equivalent to them in One Piece. You got Natsu, you got Luffy, you got Urza, you got Robin, you got Lucy, you got Nami. To be honest with you, it's really just Fairy Tail structure is more around it, because the story of Fairy Tail is way different. You know, Fairy Tail is about magic, it's about dragons and whatnot, and One Piece is really about him trying to become Pirate King, fighting pirates and all that stuff. So it's definitely not a ripoff there. You could say the character designs are somewhat similar, but in all honesty, it's, to me, it's just really, it was heavily inspired by One Piece, but not ripped off. Because if you would say it's a ripoff, then that's like saying QB Chakra Mode and Naruto is a ripoff of Super Saiyan, or Gear Second and One Piece is a ripoff of Kaioken from Goku. They're heavily inspired, but they're not ripoffs, and that's the difference. Because a lot of people love to just say, "Nah, Fairy Tail's garbage, it's a ripoff of One Piece," but Fairy Tail does its own thing. First of all, Fairy Tail isn't nowhere near as serious as One Piece. One Piece, of course, it has its comedy in it, but at the end of the day, the overall story is really just a serious thing. With Fairy Tail, for the most part, is like, you know, when you go into a battle, you just expect to see something cool and, you know, just enjoy yourself, not really thinking that it's going to be the most logical thing ever it's going to put together. A lot of times they will have the quote-unquote knock-em-up power-ups, which One Piece has had that as well, but nowhere close to the extent of Fairy Tail. And that's what it is with Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail, opposed to One Piece, Fairy Tail really puts the logic of friendship into the story. Like, friendship is very high in One Piece, but at the end of the day, Luffy isn't going to beat Akainu because of friendship. You know, he's going to beat Akainu because he got the strength to do it. And that's another difference between the two. Fairy Tail is just, in all honesty, it's inspired. It has similar elements. There are equivalents with each character. But regardless of what, it is still, at the end of the day, its own thing. You know, you got light comedy, a lot of light comedy in it, where it's just, you know, hilarious. The characters don't have that much depth for the most part as the One Piece characters. Like Natsu, he has some character in him, but it's not nowhere close to like Luffy's. You know, there are certain characters, though, that have quite a bit of development with Fairy Tail as well. I don't want to take nothing away from them. Like, Urza, she's a very developed character. You know, she has a sad past. Gray is pretty developed. He had a pretty sad past, and he's kind of moved away from that and became his own. So, you know, there are development in there. But I just feel as though, once again, Fairy Tail is just really, the structure of it was designed after One Piece. It's like taking some of the more successful elements. And that's what makes Hiro kind of like a strategist when it comes to being a mangaka. Hiro Mashima, he is really just a strategist. He took some of the best elements from One Piece, you know, inspired by it. He threw it in there, you know, he threw a little bit of the fan service, well, quite a bit of fan service, because believe it or not, fan service does sell. So, you know, he took some of the most popular elements and put it all together to create Fairy Tail, which is why it's not the most cohesive story. Sometimes it fails here and there, but for the most part, he is a strategist, and he knew how to make his manga successful. From what I hear, it's similar to Raid Master as well, certain elements, so you can add that in there as well. And all around, just Fairy Tail is not a ripoff of One Piece. I don't believe that at all, because to say that, you would have to say that Naruto's a ripoff of Hunter x Hunter. You would have to say some ridiculous things that is just not true. Inspiration and ripoff are two very different things. You can be inspired, you can even model something after it, but at the end of the day, when you make it your own, it's your own, and you were just inspired. Ripoff would be if Natsu was saying, "I'm going to be the king of the Fior. I'm going to be the #1 wizard in Fior. I'm going to find the Fior piece," or, you know, something crazy like that. Then it's like, whoa, come on now. One of the things where I would say that is very similar to the point where it's like, okay, maybe he took inspiration a little too far, would be Guild Arts and Shanks, because Guild Arts looks identical to Shanks. I believe Guild Arts has a mechanical arm, similar to Shanks not having an arm. And overall, you know, the character design for Guild Arts is very similar to Shanks. There, I don't know really what's the case with that. But then again, if it was really such a ripoff, wouldn't Fairy Tail be sued by now because it's from a different magazine, I believe, anyway? So even in that aspect, I wouldn't say that Guild Arts is a complete ripoff of Shanks. Character design-wise, yeah, he looks identical. He's identical, even missing the arm, but the Japanese don't see it enough to make a lawsuit about it, because something like that would definitely be like, they'll be sued already. So, I don't know, I say that that's probably one of the biggest things where you could say that, oh wow, you know, it's very similar. But other than that, it's like, Lucy is her own person. She's nothing like Nami. Yes, she is the equivalent. She's the attractive fan service character, but she is not like Nami. Lucy is kind of like a scaredy cat at times. She uses, well, I guess you could say her method of attacks is similar to Nami. Nami uses a rod, she uses the keys. And again, that's just inspiration, but it's not like a complete ripoff. And all around, I just think Fairy Tail is Fairy Tail, One Piece is One Piece. Two different things. Inspiration coming from One Piece to Fairy Tail, yes, but not a ripoff. Let me know what you guys think. Is Fairy Tail a ripoff of One Piece, or is it heavily inspired? What have you seen personally in Fairy Tail if you do think it's a ripoff? That is a direct ripoff of One Piece. Not inspired, a direct one. Aside from, of course, Guild Arts' character design that is identical to Shanks. Other than that, name, if you think that Fairy Tail is a ripoff, some heavy hitters right there. And just your overall thoughts. Is it a ripoff? Is it inspired? You know, just what do you think? But that's all I have for this discussion. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for both series, because I personally enjoy both for different things. Fairy Tail's fun, cool fights, One Piece depth, and just an amazing adventure. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.